Hello everybody, welcome to your 10-2 lesson on lines tangent to a circle. Our learning target for today, we are going to use properties of tangent lines to solve problems. We'll identify lines that are tangent to a circle using angle measures and segment lengths. And we'll also be able to solve problems involving tangent lines. I do want to take a minute and do a little algebra review with you guys for something you're going to see in the lesson. So find a spot in your notes. I know you don't have space for this directly, but find a spot and then show me in class where you wrote this down. So in algebra, you guys have learned how to square binomials. So here's a binomial, x plus 2, and we're going to be asked to square that. So what that means is to take the binomial and multiply it by itself. All right, so when you multiply two binomials together, we just distribute. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Positive 2 times x is another 2x. And 2 times 2 is 4. And then we get like terms, the 2x plus 2x, we have two of them. Add those together, we get 4x and then plus 4. All right, I want to do another one with you, and then we're going to identify a pattern that we notice. Let's say we have x minus 3 squared. Well, we know that is an x minus 3 times another x minus 3. That's the definition of squaring. We know we can multiply that out by distributing. X times x is x squared. X times a negative 3 is negative 3x, and here's another negative 3 times x. And then here's negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. So what we notice is we have, again, that x squared are like terms. We have two of those negative 3x's. When we combine those, we get a negative 6x and then plus 9. So what I want to point out is when we multiply this out, this is in my mind the long way, you always get an x squared. So here's the x. That ends up being squared in our final answer. We always end up with a 2 squared. That gave us 4, which is right there. And then we get these middle terms. See how it's the same thing twice, 2x and another 2x combined to give us 4x. Over here, a negative 3x and a negative 3x combined to give us negative 6x. So as we work on more of these, let me show you how we can get to our answer much faster just by recognizing the pattern. So now let's try x plus 5 squared. All right, so I'm squaring a binomial. I know I'm going to have the x squared. And then if we take this x and the 5 and multiply them together, we get 5x. That's like here, x times 2 is 2x. See how we had one there? But we always had a second one. So we're going to double that. That 5x times 2 is going to be our middle term. I know I'm going to have a 10x in the middle. And then the last term just comes from squaring the 5. So plus 25. And now I have my answer, and the more I use that pattern and recognize that, I get pretty fast at squaring binomials. What you guys will notice, you get to algebra 2 and, for the rest of geometry, you have problems where you might have to, here I'm going to do x minus 6 squared. You might have to square a binomial within a bigger problem, and I don't want you to get slowed down by doing all of this. I'd like you to be able to just say, oh, x plus 5 squared is this right here. I know this is new, so let's just talk through it again. We know that we will end up with an x squared. And then the pattern is we multiply those together, negative 6x, and we have two of them. So let's just multiply it by 2. Negative 12x. And then our last term is just squaring the negative 36, or sorry, squaring the negative 6 plus 36. So when we square a binomial in one of our examples coming up, I am going to do it this way. I'm going to give you guys the shortcuts because we talked through the patterns we noticed so that we can now just go right to our answer and save ourselves a little bit of time.